my other platform. So hello, happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're singing. I hope you're resting, because rest has been the big theme of my week. I had a major crash out last week and had to force myself to stop doing everything, literally everything. Like, I watched Only Murders in the Building for a whole day. Like, I could not do anything else. And I realized that I needed that for my sanity. So hopefully you're doing good things for your sanity and your health in mind and body as well. And that when you have a day that you're a little more rested, that you are able to add a little fun and creativity in there, and that you're not forcing yourself to just do stuff that you're responsible for. You know, I've had a lot of really great conversations with my students this week. I mean, I do every week, but the last couple of days, I found myself talking about how amazing music is as an art form and as a thing that we get to learn how to do for many reasons. But one of the bigger reasons for me is that it really keeps you, it forces you to stay in the moment. You know, it, like, one of the biggest and hardest things about music is that you cannot erase something that just came out of your mouth. You know, that's the thing about visual art, is you can erase, you can paint over, you can redo, but with music you kind of just have to be on the train. The music is going no matter if you are or not. I mean, regardless, if you're playing your own music, sure, you can stop, but you can't like suck the sound back into you, you know? So it really forces you to be mindful and to be to work on your judgment, right, of yourself, because you can't be in judgment mode and in fully creative mode at the same time. That's why it really is the best mindfulness practice, because if you're wanting to be allowing this beautiful sound out of you, you have to get control of that gremlin. You have to be like, nope, I'm not in that mode right now. I'm only allowing myself to be in artist mode. And my artist self wants to say yes to whatever wants to come out of my mouth. And my gremlin self, my critic self, only wants to say, no, you better not do that. It doesn't sound great. It's not good enough. You're never going to get better, etc., etc. But your creative self, if you make that your priority, there's literally no room in your brain for that criticism, that past self-judgment, right? That thing of the mistake that you just made, giving yourself shit for it, you know? Hey, Sammy, nice to see you. So that's what I've been talking about a lot with people, is like, if you ever took music lessons when you were a kid, and, you know, like I did, my piano teacher, one of the hardest lessons that she taught me was that I just had to keep going after I messed up. And I was like, everything in me just hated that so much. All I wanted to do was just stop and start over and do it again perfectly. But she really brought it home to me that, like, music is just a thing of time, right? It's a decoration of time, whereas visual art is a decoration of space. And it doesn't stop, right? Especially if you're playing with other people. Even if you're not, even if you're just playing solo or singing solo, other people don't want to sit there and deal with you having to go back and fix your mess ups, right? They just want to hear what's about to happen in the song. They want to know the story that you're singing. They want to feel the emotions. And if you stop and redo, you're doing everybody a disservice, right? You're being so judgmental and so perfectionist that you're actually stopping the enjoyment and the story of the song from moving forward. And you're being so selfish, honestly, that like you have to go back and make sure everybody knows that I know that I messed up and that I have to do it again, you know? So it really is way less selfish and way more understanding and more serving of the actual art that you're doing, to learn early on how to keep going when you mess up. And same thing for technique reasons, right? Like if you are in the habit of allowing yourself to stop, close up, and get mad at yourself for every time something doesn't go as planned, you're never going to get to that place where you need to be, that is opening up before a big hard thing, right? Like if you are so used to the judgment arrangement in your body, which is tightness, which is grabbiness in here, wherever you grab, right? Some people it's their tongue tightness, some people it's the external vocal muscles, some people it's the jaw. It can be anything for anybody. But if we keep that pattern of overdoing to counteract a possible mistake, then you're always going to be in that mode. Whereas sometimes what these notes need, like for example, for most people, it's a big high note or a big run or something. If you're always in judgment mode about the last mistake you made, or so afraid of the next mistake you're going to make that you're stuck in this grabby mode, you're not going to be able to open yourself up enough to hit that note the way you want to hit it, to make that run happen loose enough so that it actually is clean, you know? So this is technique wise as well as just good advice for being a musician in general, and also just good life advice. Honestly, it's a good life lesson to be able to make mistakes and say, oh, okay, interesting, I'm gonna keep going. Right? And not be like, I can't believe I just did that, god dang it, I'm gonna curse myself out and then restart. Right? It's much more character building, and it's much more strength and resilience building to be able to just continue through that mistake and say, I'll address it later, I don't need to do that now. Who am I, a perfectionist? Can't be me. Right? So it's really, really good to build that skill early on. Karaoke is a great place to do that because you're probably gonna mess up and the music is going. You're not going to be able to stop a karaoke track in the middle. You have to just keep going, because not only is the music going, and the DJ is probably not going to, if there is a DJ, they're probably not going to pause it and go back for you. That would be ridiculous. But the audience is sitting there on your side wanting you to succeed. And so if you get frustrated and are like, oh, I hate that I just messed up, I bring all this attention to it, the audience is going to be sitting there also going, oh no, what do I do with this situation? I feel bad for her, but like, I can't do anything in this moment, you know? And so as the nervous system leader in the room, as Ruby Rose talks about, if you're curious about what that means, go follow Muscle Music. She talks about being the nervous system leader, the nervous sister, I like that, the nervous system leader in the room all the time. Because when you're a performer, even if you're just at karaoke, that's what you are. You're leading the room in how you want everybody to feel. And they don't have to listen to you, of course, but if you are allowing yourself to get stuck and mired in that mistake, they're going to feel bad for you and with you. And you don't want that. You want them to feel good and have a good time, right? Because the more they have a good time, they're going to love what you do. And they're going to be so excited and want you to sing more, you know? So when you're in that situation, when a mistake happens, it's going to happen. It happens to all of us, even professionals. It's going to happen. And You have the choice in that moment to say, am I going to completely bring attention to that and derail this whole performance and make everybody tense up with me? Or am I going to just let it pass? I can't erase it. What am I going to do? Go back and rewind real life? No, can't do that. I can choose to continue on, look at it later when I'm in rehearsal mode by myself, but right now I'm in performance mode. And it's really good to practice being in performance mode in rehearsal mode, because if you're in rehearsal and you're practicing a song and you're always allowing yourself to stop and go back, you're not building this skill in yourself, right? So in practice mode, we have to practice performance mode. Does that make sense? Hopefully I said that right. So that you are challenging yourself and putting yourself up against this edge of there's no excuse, right? Even if I can and I have time and I'm just by myself and nobody's listening, I'm not allowing myself to stop because I'm building that skill for myself. I'm building the possibility that I can let a mistake go by and continue on without grabbing, right? I'm letting myself remember the looseness and the openness that can show up when I say, I'm just an artist right now. I'm not the critic. I'm not letting my gremlin in this room. I'm not even editing myself right now. I don't have time for that. The music's going and I'm on the train. I can't get off the train. I'm on the train, right? Because when you get off the train, the audience is like, oh no, there's no train. Okay, bye. Right? So they want to see you succeed just as much as you do, but you have to be willing to let whatever happen, happen. Whatever happens, happen. Because otherwise, you're going to have a bad time, and they're going to have a bad time, and you're just going to be way more frustrated with yourself than is necessary for one little mistake, you know? Chances are, if you can get through a couple songs after that mistake, you won't even remember what that mistake was. Honestly, some mistakes are big, and you do remember. The one I was telling people today was my when I was in Mary Poppins. It was my first lead role in a musical. It was a community theater, not anything professional, so I wasn't getting paid, thank goodness. But it was my first time, so I was learning a lot of lessons in real time. And during Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious one time, I had to step out in the middle of stage and say that line on my own as a solo moment. And in my head before that, I have a lot of words, a lot of singing and words to say as Mary Poppins, right? So in my head, I was thinking, oh my God, I hope I don't forget these words. That's what was going through my head. And then when I stepped onto stage, into the center stage to do my solo, nothing came out. Because my brain was thinking, it was too busy thinking, what if I forget these words? Then I forgot the words. I was not in the moment. I was too busy worrying about what was possibly going to happen in the future. And I literally took all of my brain power thinking about the possible future and did not let myself be in the moment and think about the actual words that I had to say next, even though it was literally supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and I said it 100 other times. It freaked me out because I was like, I really have to be on it with my brain, right? I cannot let my brain drift into possible mistakes in the future or actual mistakes in the past, because then I'm going to forget what I have to do in this moment. And then I'm screwed, right? So that was the hardest way to learn that lesson, but I learned it. And so now every time I perform, I really am vigilant about when that gremlin comes in, when the worries start to come in and derail me. I cannot let myself follow that train of thought, because I have to be in the moment to be able to be my full, open, loose singer, creative self. So let my mistakes help you in this respect. Don't let yourself future trip or past trip. Just be in the moment. Music is so good for this. It's the best mindfulness practice. So just let yourself sit in it. Let yourself be in the moment. Let yourself be in, okay, this is what I'm singing right now, and I'm just thinking about what word is next. That's literally it. That's all you have time to think about. You don't have time to be in gremlin mode, right? So if anything else, let this be your reason why today you name your gremlin and you say, you are not allowed in this room while I'm practicing. They're going to come back. George always comes back and sits on my shoulder and goes, hey, that doesn't sound great. What if you can't do this anymore? And again, I shove him away because that's what I have to do as a performer. So get good at it now. Get good at being in artist mode, at being in this moment without the gremlin. Send that gremlin away again and again and again until you get so good at it that it's not even a thing for you anymore. It's like, oh yeah, I hear George in the background just yammering on, doing his thing, but I don't have to actually engage with that anymore. You know, I'm in music mode. I'm singing, I'm telling the story, singing my song to you in the audience. George doesn't matter, right? So that's my spiel for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have anything you want me to talk about, I'm here every Thursday around this time, 5:30-ish. Sometimes a little late, but that's what I have to say. It's the best mindfulness practice, so let yourself be in it. And practice being in just artist mode instead of letting that inner critic mode or even the editor come in when you're singing. That's for later. Inner critic is for never. The editor's for later. You're being a scientist. But in this moment, when you're singing in front of somebody, or even when you're practicing being in performance mode, you are in artist mode. And you're saying yes, and you are opening, and you're not tightening. Thanks for being here. So nice to have you. I hope you're doing well and sending you lots of love. And if you want to work with me, go send me a thing or watch my free training. I forgot the word. It's called Every Note is Easy. If you haven't seen it, I think it's life-changing. Other people have said it's life-changing, and it's free. Ta-da! And then I'm going to tell you about a way you can work with me. But if that doesn't work for you, just DM me, and we'll work something out. I'm changing a lot of what I'm doing this year and next year because I've had a full private studio for so long. I needed a way to switch that up and to try and help more people without burning myself out. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, go watch it. It's a short hour and a half. So if you're watching a movie tonight, go watch that instead. Let me know. It's probably, you've been here for so long, you probably know a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in there. But if you're new here and you don't know what I talk about all the time, go watch it. And so yeah, just heads up, new stuff always coming in the future. Thinking about offering like a mini course very soon. So keep that in your back of your head for your self gifts for the holiday season. Because you got to have a fund set aside for self gifts, right? You can't just spend all your money on everybody else, right? So keep that in mind. I'll be opening that soonish in the next month or two. And I hope you're doing well. And let me know what you need. I'm here for you all the time. Okay, happy singing, and I'll see you soon.